Okay. So this is my first MSPL match this week 1 against OminousDraco. It's Gen 6 OU. I brought a Pokéaim team that used versus Poic, and he brought the the team Blunder used against CBB, which was CBB's team, which he used previous to that in SPL. Okay, so let's play. Love chance.
Yep.
Okay, so turn 1, I go into Diancie. I just protect. We're not pausing here. I just Moonblast, predicting him to predict me to protect. He calls, gets the play right. I go into Pharaoh. He recovers. I knock. Oh, yeah, he Willows. I knock. Misses the Willow. I get rid of the Colbur Berry. He taunts on the Spike, which is a good play. Here I go into Diancie, predicting the Willow. Okay, pause here, okay? Once my talent's in, okay? Okay, so I went into Diancie, predicting the Willow, so I could just bounce it off and then start being able to hit KO him with Diancie. Like I could play around with it. I could just switch in Diancie, then go back into like Talon or Ferrothorn and just repeat the cycle all over again. But he just goes for the Scald and takes out my Diancie turn 5, which is really bad for me. Like I was thinking there, I was like, okay, I misplayed. I'm done for. Okay, like at this point, this was literally what I was thinking. I was like, okay, it's fine. Our team's doing well. We can still win.
Yeah.
But like this game's gone. That's what I had in mind at that point. But I was looking at my team. I was like, hey, I have wing cons. I can still pull this out. I just threw out.
If you could like, you could have still won with like Talon and Kofag. All you had to do was chip down Lando and Hydreigon for Kofag to sweep.
Yeah, but the Heatran was there, you know? Like, Kofag could sweep, yeah, but something was going to be able to take a hit. Hydreigon was going to be able to take a hit if he played around it correctly, you know? Like, he just has to
he had to, like,
take damage.
Yeah, he had to weaken the Heatran, or you had to weaken it to win.
For Talonflame to win. Okay, so we're going to resume here, turn 6. I double out into Talonflame while he goes into Heatran, predicting him to, you know, want to go into Heatran. He taunts here. And this is the play that matters most in the game. I quake.
Yeah, this is
the turn.
Turning point.
Yeah. So I paused here, turn 7, okay? Okay. The quake. Okay, just think about it. If he kept Heatran, just went out into Hydreigon, okay? I could have gotten Rocks up. That's what he was afraid of. And he knew he had no removal. So it was a 50-50, I guess. It was.
Honestly, I would have gone into Jellicent.
Yeah, I mean that would make more sense than staying in with Heatran, but then again, him letting me get Rocks up means things gonna get chipped.
Honestly, if he could play around Rocks, but with a dead Heatran, he kind of just loses.
Yeah, that's true. It was far too big of a risk for him to take, but because he got the early advantage, I was like, okay, you know what? I feel he's gonna flex now because he's been playing it safe all throughout the beginning. Okay, so play now. He goes into Hydreigon. I switch out into Pharaoh. He Dark Pulses. That does a solid chunk. And here I'm like, okay. I just Leech Seed, and then I switch out into Talon and take the hit. But no, he flinches. So I'm pretty pissed here. I go out into Talonflame, take the Dark Pulse, and here is where it starts, you know, the mind games start to happen, okay? Pause here, turn 10, okay? Okay, so here I'm thinking, I have the calc on the side, and I'm seeing it's doing 50 to 57, okay? Or 63, sorry. 50 to 63. So I'm just waiting for the low roll so I can Willow and start chipping this thing down. So turn 10, resume. Okay, here I roost here. He pulses again. He gets a higher roll. I need the absolute min to be able to have a chance. He gets 57 on the second one. I roost again. And here he gets the 49, which is the absolute lowest roll, okay? So turn 14, pause. Here, okay, I have to Willow. This is my only chance. And so I do. And I don't get flinched, and I survive on 2 HP. I was like, holy hell. And now I have to roost, and Prey doesn't get the high roll, but he just switches out, okay? And now it's... Now I just Willow the Jellicent too to start chipping it down. He's called. It didn't matter.
Talon just 1v1s at this point.
Yeah, Talon just wins most of his team outright, unless he goes into like, I don't know, Landers and starts going for Stone Edge.
But you always just go Hippo into
exactly
that,
yeah.
and you can even get rocks out.
Yeah.
Even at this point, Cofagrigus is a threat.
Yeah, exactly. Because he just, you know,
how much
he lost Heatran, and things are getting chipped like slowly. His Jellicent's at 70 something. Now it's gonna go down to 60 after the burn. The Hydreigon's on 76 while it's burned. Metagross full, Landers full, and Keldeo full, sure. But once I start setting up, I can chip him away with one of the wing cons and just sweep him with the other. Okay, so play here. He taunts after I roost. Right here, I switch out into Cofagrigus because, well, worst case scenario, it gets a Scald Burn, okay? Which didn't really matter.
Yeah.
I didn't need health on this because it was going to sweep anyway. Here, I couldn't Trick Room and start going for things. No, I Shadow Balled on the Keldeo. Switch out into Storm because that can take most hits unless he's going to go for like HP Grass, which I didn't feel he would. Or maybe he didn't have it. Yeah. I Psyshock on the Keldeo, not predicting anything. Here I predict the Pursuit. I go for the Scald, fishing for a burn, and I get it on the first Scald.
After you burn, I don't think he can win anymore.
Yeah, at this point, it looks bleak for him. It really does. Like I was like, okay, I've got the upper hand now. I can start making plays. So he goes out into Lando. I just recover here. He U-turns, and I Scald. Because at that point, I thought that was defensive Landers. Because looking at the team, what does he have? Nothing. Like, are you going to convince me he has 3 choice-locked Mons, a utility Heatran, and, you know, Jellicent? Yeah, it's not much, you know? I can easily sweep him with anything. I was like, no way that's Scarf. He just U-turns out, goes out into Hydreigon, and here, he just Dracos, which was the biggest misplay ever. Like, because now I bring in Cofag, and I start setting up. Now, here I went for Trick Room turn 1, because I didn't want him to go out into Hydreigon or Jellicent, because if he went Jellicent, he could taunt me after the nasty plot, and thus I could just get 1 kill. Then he could force me out with Hydreigon. Or if he went Hydreigon, he could just straight up Oko me with the Dark Pulse. So I just went for Trick Room first. He went into Metagross, which is just setup fodder for me because it's burned. And even if it isn't, I'm like, I'm really tanky. And I have Mummy, so once he hits me, goodbye. He's not going to be able to do anything. I nasty plot up, Shadow Ball, first kill. And now, here is a turn where, I don't know, it was like my safest play is what I did. Okay, I went for Will-O-Wisp, which is 100% what I was going to do anyway. He Earthquakes. And here, I Shadow Ball instead of nasty plotting up and setting up Trick Room again to finish the game. Because I thought, hey, he could just switch into Hydreigon, knowing I'm just going to nasty plot. And you get me? If I nasty plotted
I don't think
there,
he would have predicted.
Yeah.
I don't think he had the pair to go to Hydreigon right there.
Yeah, at that point, I don't think he did. But I was just playing it safe, because I knew Talon was in the back. And I knew everything was chipped, and I knew Keldeo just outright died to Talonflame after taking that Shadow Ball. And here I go Starmie, sack it. And now I go Talonflame. Because, you know, it can take a hit. And I just decide to go for game here. I bulk up. And that's game, basically. I just brave 3 times.
Honestly, he did kind of have the upper hand at the beginning, but he didn't really solidify any plays to, you know, keep the upper hand.
Yeah, he didn't capitalize on the early lead that he got for himself.
And he played very conservatively the whole match, and I don't think he should have. I still think he played well, but I think he could have at least made it closer.
Yeah, I get you.
And then
he definitely should have went for plays. Like, he definitely should have. And I was predicting him to, like, the entire game, but he just kept doing the safest play possible, which just didn't make sense, you know? Like, he was so far behind after, like, turn 15. I don't get why he kept going for those plays. But yeah,
dropping them copy pastas at the
let me show those.
Then you drop them in the replay chat, and they have
I dropped them everywhere. So So this is me being BM. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. I promised the boys if I won. And then I just dropped the copy pasta.
You gotta make up for Oltan not trashing little Lucario at the end.
Yeah, Oltan was such a bitch. He promised me he would. Yeah. Anyway, that's the game. I hope you all enjoyed. This was Love Chance with me, iRebel. Thanks, man.
See ya.
See ya.
Thanks for having me.
No worries, man.